love Java, sweet and high. Whoop, Mr. Motorama, coffee and spice.
Welcome to Fueled by Death Show. Hey, it's not just a podcast anymore. Get ready, the show's about to begin.
Am I cute?
Is that what you're trying to pull off?
I was trying to pull that off.
Oh, I thought you were just trying to look weak and innocent.
Well, I pulled that off. Welcome to the show, everybody. Oh man, we're a little feisty today. It's okay though. It's okay. If you're keeping track at home, this is the companion show to episode 86 of the podcast, which is coming out tomorrow, and we'll get into that very shortly. And thanks for joining us. We're so happy that you're here. I'm going to say this ad nauseum. This is the final show until we go on hiatus for a couple weeks. So thanks for watching, and we're never coming back. No, we're coming back. We're coming back. Where we are. Maybe not. Maybe? Maybe not? No, we'll come back. We promise we're going to come back.
What if we want to come back, yet something happens?
Oh, no. Like a meteor?
Like a Final Destination kind of thing.
Oh, man, you've been watching those movies too much.
I did.
You really have. You've been referencing Final Destination a little bit too much.
Dude, I was scarred. The last flight I took back home from Seattle, I decided, hey, won't it be fun if I watch Final Destination because it was on the hotel TV.
Don't do that.
And I woke up, for some reason, choking on my spit the same time somebody was being
Choked.
hung during the movie. And I think ever since then it's been embedded into my brain. And
I can't wait to get on a plane with you next week. Yay!
I already told you, I promised to take Dramamine.
That's true.
It should go better this time around.
That's true. That's true. Well, for those of you just joining us, I am the Incredible Jeff.
They call me Dustin.
And sometimes they call him the Amazing D-Man.
Nobody calls me the Amazing anything.
I kind of do. I do.
Okay, outside of this room, have you ever been like, hey, the Amazing D-Man, let me tell you about this idea I
because you
just had.
punch me in the throat.
Oh, you think I just go around punching people in the throat that I disagree with?
I've seen it.
Yeah. I go
but
to the tiger paw. It fits
Yeah,
between the
yeah,
chin and
yeah,
the chest.
yes. Yeah, learn something new every day. We'd love it if you followed us over on social media, guys. Our social media is Instagram. That's the one we love. But we also Facebook and Twitter. It's real easy. I am at Jeff Wish Coffee.
And I am at Deathwish Dustin.
It's that easy. And if this is your first time joining the show, here's the deal. We're giving away a mug. All you got to do is share this feed, drop a comment anytime during the show, drop a comment always during the show, and one of those comments, one lucky comment, will be picked after the show signs off, and you're going to win this week's mug, and it is the 2018 Valhalla Java.
What number is it, Jeff?
There is no number.
I just wanted you to look.
These are our these are our year-round mugs.
We have a Sharpie nearby.
I do not have a Sharpie nearby.
It's going in pen. It's number one.
Oh, he's numbered. You're watching it happen, so you're going to get the D-Man numbered number one. But we'll sign the bottom of this and send it out to one lucky winner. Again, this is our year-long Valhalla Java mug. Love this mug because of the fire lava glaze that it got. Yeah, again, as shiny as we could get it for Zach.
The glaze on this one is more unique than any other mug that I've seen that we have here. There's probably about 8 different colors on that rim. You get your blues, your reds, your greens. There's some browns in there. It's really amazing.
It's really cool. Again, just share this feed, drop a comment. One lucky comment's going to win this mug at the end of the show. But here at the beginning of the show, we thank our good friend, Brock Powell.
BrockFox.com.
He is the voice actor behind all the voices on this show and 1,000 out there in the world. Seriously, why are you not following Brock yet? Go follow him. Go to his house. Sit in his bushes. I mean, follow him on social media. Follow Brock on social media, right? No? Sit in the bushes?
I mean, that's what we're doing,
That's
right?
what we're going to do. We are going to go see Brock.
And
It's
sit in
gonna
his
be great.
bushes.
And sit in his bushes.
If he has them. He might not have bushes.
We should buy.
If
buy
you
him.
follow Brock, you would know if he has bushes or not.
It's true. If he does not have bushes, we'll go to Home Depot. We'll buy some bushes, and then we'll plant them outside of Brock's house, and then we will wait in said bushes.
I like how your thought is to get live bushes and bury them in the ground instead of just getting fake bushes to jump into. I like your thought pattern, though. It's good.
But what we're talking about is this show right here is the final show until we go on hiatus for 2 weeks. So next week and the week after, the live show is not going to be going out because we're not going to have time because for the next 8 days, starting next Tuesday, we're going to be in L.A. I cannot believe it's happening.
I don't even know what to expect. I've been looking at pictures of LA just to kind of get an I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm walking into, man.
The reason why we're doing this is because we know so many people out on the West Coast that we decided, you know what? Let's book a trip and get everybody for you guys. And we're going to bank a ton of guests, new and old, for the podcast in the upcoming weeks and months. And we have some great guests lined up, like Mr. Zach Wild. He was on the show last season, but we're going to go meet him in person, and we're going to get him back on the show, which is going to be a lot of fun. Mr. Blasco. That's right. I forgot I was even wearing this shirt today. But we're getting Blasco back on the show. We're getting UFC champion Liz Carmouche on the show, back on the show again at her gym, which is going to be amazing. She's going to beat you up live on camera.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It's going to be great.
It's not hard.
But we're going to meet some new people, too. One of the ones I know you're the most excited about is Anthony DeLongis, who is a weapons master.
Yep.
We're going to go, and he's going to teach us how to use whips and knives
I can't
and
wait
swords and
to
stuff.
learn how to use the whip.
He's taught everybody in Hollywood how to do that kind of stuff. We're going to get him on the show. We're going to talk to a surfer, a world-ranked surfer, JoJo Roper. That's going to be incredible.
As long as the waves don't
Don't
drop
call him
on-
away.
Yeah,
Yes, because he's waiting on those big waves, so that'll be fun. We're also going to talk to some of our friends that we've only kind of collaborated with. If you saw our recent contest where we were giving away a cold steel, I believe it was called a Warhawk axe that was branded with Death Wish Coffee, Cold Steel Knives is based on the West Coast. We're going to their facility. We're going to get them on the podcast. We're going to throw axes behind their warehouse. I cannot wait. We're going to chronicle the whole thing. We're going to take as much video and audio as we can. And like I said, it's just going to be the new episodes of the podcast for the upcoming weeks and months.
You didn't
for
mention
guys.
Sideshow Collectibles yet.
Sideshow Collectibles. There's so much stuff I keep forgetting.
Yeah, it's
all of the things
crazy.
we're gonna do. We're gonna be busy little bees while we're out in LA, but it's gonna be worth it for you guys. We're gonna get all the best content.
Secret code unlocked. Discount of death.
This week, if you type in the super secret code word at deathwishcoffee.com, Clark, Jeff, spell it.
That's CLARK.
That will nail you 15% off of both the Death Wish and Valhalla Java Clean Canteen until Wednesday the 15th.
15% off. I can't stress enough how great this product is. Clean Canteen is my favorite mug outside of like my morning coffee mug. I love these things because you can put coffee in them at 8 in the morning and leave it wherever you're going to leave it, and I guarantee at 5 p.m. that coffee's still hot.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. Do you remember the first time you burnt your mouth drinking out of the Clean Canteen?
First time I ever had it, yeah.
It almost seems freaky because you go like 6 hours later and you're like, no way. Ow!
Yeah, it is freaky.
It's nuts.
And 15% off this whole week. What a better deal. Get one for yourself. Get one as a present. You got both styles. You can either rep Death Wish with our brand new powder coating. It's got like a little bit more grippy coating on it, which is awesome. Or you can rep Valhalla Java, which is super shiny black and metal because that's all Zach Wild really wants.
Super shiny black and metal.
That's all he really wants, and we try to please him. And it's such a great deal. CLARK Clark, 15% off all the Clean Canteens.
Science!
All right, D-Man. So science this week is on Earth, but it's about space. Ha-ha! I did it both. If you guys hadn't heard, big announcement out of NASA. They just announced the newest cruise that will be flying from American soil on the new Boeing and SpaceX crafts that are going to allow human beings, not just cargo, to fly to the International Space Station. This is really exciting. This is the first time we've actually had a craft that's going to carry human beings since the space shuttle. And the space shuttle was retired in 2011. So if you hadn't heard about this, it was making news all over the place. And I wanted to talk about it on this week's show. And I have a special treat for you because we had to ask our good friend, retired astronaut Nicole Stott, about this because she's not only has a little bit more insight on this, she knows all of the people that they announced who are part of these crews. So here's a little clip from our upcoming episode with Nicole as we're talking about this cool thing with the new crews. They just announced the crew who's going to be going up, the the next crew since the space shuttle who's going to be going up to the space station. Do you know any of that crew?
Yeah, I know all those folks. They actually announced 4 crews.
4 crews.
So so there'll be a first flight of both the Boeing Starliner and the crewed SpaceX Dragon vehicles. So they announced the first crew for both of those, and then they announced the second crew, which will be the folks that get to fly that vehicle for the first time, like to station and actually stay there for a little while. Yeah,
because the first cruise, correct me if I'm wrong, they're just going, they're launching, docking, and then coming back. They're not getting off the craft.
Yeah, it's more just a test flight.
Just like we can do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you think, and this is kind of a question from your engineering side as well, do you think that we will be working towards a craft like the space shuttle again? Because these are more like the Soyuz, right? Like these aren't.
Yeah, these are capsules.
Capsules.
So they're very much like what we remember of like Apollo days.
Right.
What we remember, or what we know now of the Russian Soyuz spacecraft.
Yeah.
Of course, they're advanced from the technology standpoint of things, but yeah, that's what they. I mean, you're laying. You are in this very small capsule. When they land, they'll be landing. I can't remember if they're both landing in the water or one's landing in the water, one's landing on the land. But like we did for Apollo and like we're doing for Soyuz. And I personally, I really hope we get back to something like the space shuttle.
Yeah.
And there is a company out there, Sierra Nevada Corp, that's doing a small lifting body.
I've
and
seen artist representation of what they're working on.
Yeah, and they've got a cargo contract, so they'll be doing some cargo, and hopefully they'll continue their development so that they can have a crewed version. But I just think, human beings should come back from space and land on a runway.
So that really breaks it down. There's 4 separate crews, 2 test crews, and then 2 mission crews comprised of 9 people. And I just wanted to go down through the list of these guys and show you some of the pictures of the crafts and stuff like that. On the Boeing CST-100, which you can see the Starliner right back there, you've got on the test flight astronauts, you got Eric Boe, who is actually a crew member with Nicole on her STS-133 mission to the International Space Station, and was on the final flight of the Space Shuttle Discovery. Also, along with Eric, is going to be Christopher Ferguson, and he has been an integral part of the Boeing Starliner development since he retired from NASA. And he was part of the final mission of the Space Shuttle program, STS-135, on the Space Shuttle Atlantis in 2011. And then rounding out that team is going to be Nicole Mann. She's a lieutenant colonel in the Marine Corps, and this is her first flight to space. Now, this, along with the SpaceX Dragon test flight, both of those flights are just going to launch from Earth, go to the International Space Station, dock, and then leave. The crews aren't getting out. It's just a proof positive that we can do it. Nobody gets hurt.
Wow.
And then they're going to come back. So,
testing it with people.
Well, we're going to test it without people first.
Okay.
Then we're going to test it with people. And then basically the first mission is going to be the crews that are actually going to get out of the craft and go into the space station.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
That's a strange way to do it, but I guess there's no better way, right?
Right. So the SpaceX Dragon test flight, that is going to be comprised of Robert Bacon, who flew aboard the Space Shuttle Endeavour twice, actually, and he logged 6 spacewalks at the International Space Station, and Douglas Hurley, who piloted Atlantis' final mission of the Space Shuttle program, along with Christopher Ferguson back in the Boeing. And then... and that's actually the Dragon right there. And then the Boeing Starliner first mission is going to be helmed by Josh Casada, who's a Navy commander. That'll be his first flight to space. And Sunita Williams, she's been an astronaut since 1998. She actually was the commander of the International Space Station during one of her many trips to space. And she performed 7 spacewalks in her career, plus... she was a crew member alongside Nicole on the space station as well. And SpaceX's Dragon's first mission is comprised of Victor Glover, who's a Navy commander. This will be his first space flight, and Michael Hopkins, who spent 166 days at the space station. And that's what's really cool about this is it's Americans leaving from American soil in new crafts that are building on the model of the Soyuz. It's not a space shuttle. It's not going to land. It's going to come down like a car crash, like Nicole said, into the ocean. But it's great that we're working towards being able to do this, because it's all been on the Russians, which they've been great doing it, but it's just one country doing it. More countries should be sending human beings into space and have these programs. So thankfully, Boeing and SpaceX are making this happen. NASA's continuous presence on the space station for almost 18 years has enabled technology, demonstrations, and research in biology and biotechnology, earth and space science, human health, and physical sciences. This research has led to dramatic improvements in technology, infrastructure, and medicine, and thousands of spin-off technologies that have improved quality of life here on Earth. And also from NASA's website, they say the new spaceflight capability provided by Boeing and SpaceX will allow NASA to maintain a crew of 7 astronauts on the space station, thereby maximizing scientific research that leads to breakthroughs and also aids in understanding and mitigating the challenges of long-duration spaceflight. And what's interesting about that is up until now, there's only been 6 people living and working on the space station. So adding another person, that's a whole other set of hands, a whole nother, much more scientific research.
But another roommate.
NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine said, "Today, our country's dreams of greater achievements in space are within our grasp. This accomplished group of American astronauts flying a new spacecraft developed by our commercial partners Boeing and SpaceX will launch a new era of human spaceflight. Today's announcement advances our great American vision and strengthens the nation's leadership into space," which is really exciting. But one of the questions I asked immediately was, what kind of suits are they going to wear? Because since we've flown on something like the space shuttle, there's been a lot of new technology towards spacesuits. And I'm not talking about the ones that you see when they perform a spacewalk. The big bulky ones with the jetpack and
There's
all
no
that
getting
stuff.
around that.
That's as good as we've got right now. And those are the high performance technology, like they do upgrade those, but I mean, like, we're not looking to that. We're looking for the suits that you wear when you pilot a spacecraft. So in the horrible event that maybe something would go wrong on the spacecraft, this is the suit that's going to keep you alive. Yeah. And so I went looking around it, and they are being updated by both Boeing and by SpaceX, which is pretty cool. Boeing here is they're donning their astronauts in what they're calling Boeing Blue. They're lighter, sleeker, and a little bit more dynamic than the big, bulky orange ones that you normally see. Like, think of Armageddon, that hero shot of them all walking up, like, that's what, astronauts have worn forever. But this is a heck of a lot more sleeker, and it's got a lot more new technology in there. The helmets and the boots are integrated into the suit rather than being separate pieces. So it's a little bit more comfortable,
kind of like an astronaut romper.
Yes, yeah, in a sense. But I mean, it's much more functional, and the material that they're working with has a lot more functionality too. Whereas the big clunky mittens, basically, that they'd have to wear on the old ones, they didn't really have a lot of tactile use for them. Now with these new suits, they can actually use touchscreens, which a lot of the new crafts have, because we have touchscreens in our pockets. So of course NASA has those on their spaceships. So now they're able to use that kind of stuff, which is pretty cool. The one with SpaceX, I might have another picture. Yeah, there it is. This is the SpaceX model, black and white. Yeah, Elon.
You're crazy, dude.
But what's interesting is they haven't released as many details about this suit. But the idea is still the same: sleeker, lighter, more functionality, more safety.
Look like an alien.
Yeah, maybe look a little cooler too. But it's pretty neat, right? Like,
it's really neat.
Yeah, and so we've got these 9 individuals who will be the first astronauts from American soil to go to the International Space Station again after the retirement of the space shuttle, and this is just pushing us even farther to those next spacecraft and those next astronauts that'll be going hopefully back to the moon and to Mars and all that kind of stuff. And finally, I just wanted to say, speaking of spacecraft, I have a fun picture that I wanted to show everybody as I was going through NASA and SpaceX and looking at all this kind of stuff. Right here, this is the Dragon capsule from the Falcon 9 rocket from CS-15 that our coffee was in that capsule. It's now back on Earth. they recovered it, and it is at NASA right now being unpacked. This was actually on August 4th.
We should make a brewing machine that looks like that.
I know, right? Little capsules that brew coffee just like
or
that.
Or like a machine that you put your coffee into and it makes coffee.
Oh, I love
and it looks like this dragon capsule.
I love it. I just thought that was a cool picture because our coffee was once on there, but now it is on the International Space Station. I know a lot of you guys have been asking. We do bring it up on Nicole's episode next week, but I will tell you right now, we talked to the astronauts. They really are enjoying having Death Wish coffee with them in space, and I think that's pretty rad.
Good. It is a fully operational Death Star of the week.
All right, guys, it is time again for Death Star of the Week, where you get to meet one of the amazing community members out there. I say it every week. If you're not a fan of the official Death Wish Coffee Company community page on Facebook, get on over there because you'll get to meet all these people like Sean Chai, who is our Death Star this week. Sean's been a fan of the company for a while and has done some pretty cool stuff with mugs that we talk about. And he's a fellow Star Wars nerd, which is awesome as well. And it was really great to talk with him. And if you've never met Sean, you're going to meet him right now. All right. Well, I'm here with Sean, and I'm really excited because it's either Sean or a stormtrooper. I'm not exactly sure. We might be hearing technical difficulties. I don't know. Yeah, your comm systems aren't working. Maybe we'll have to reveal you. Oh my gosh! There he is. Oh, and there's the hat. There we go. Now I think we can hear each other, right?
Loud and clear.
Oh God. Well, from one Star Wars nerd to another, welcome to the show, my friend. Smoking cigars, your MO. If for people who have never followed you and have never met you over there on the official Coffee Company community page, that is you. There's many things you like: coffee, Star Wars, cigars, and a good time. I think, right?
Yep, pretty much.
Excellent. So the question I like to start off with is to give everybody a little bit of perspective. When did you first hear about Death Wish Coffee? How did you hear about the company?
It was actually about 2 years ago, and it was just messing around on Facebook, I think it was. At the time, I was getting into Cuban espresso, so I was just starting to dabble around with a percolator, a little mocha pot, and I loved it. So I started looking into other coffees, and I'm like, saw an ad pop up, and I'm like, "World's strongest coffee? That's a bold statement. Is this a gimmick?" So I kind of decided to. I think it took me about a good month before I finally pulled the trigger, and it's been downhill ever since.
Wow. Do you know about what year that was? How many years ago that was?
It was 2016.
2016.
Almost 2 years ago exactly.
Wow, that's awesome. And you know what? You are in a group of a lot of people, and we are very bold as a company, and we come out of the gate saying we're the world's strongest coffee, and we get more people trying the coffee because they go, yeah, bullshit, you know?
Exactly.
That's awesome. So you have been enjoying the company or the coffee since then. I see you're drinking some right now as well. What do you do for a 9 to 5? What does coffee fuel you to do during the day?
Well, my 9 to 5 doesn't typically follow a 9 to 5. I work for the Air National Guard. I'm a part of their air defense mission.
Yes.
So we have a 24-hour mission and an 8-hour rotating shift.
Yeah.
And that shift rotates every 4 weeks. So
You're
Death Wish literally makes sure I can get to work on time.
Oh,
and make
wow.
sure I can get the bills paid.
Oh my gosh. And for those of our viewers and listeners who might not know, you are based in Hawaii, correct?
Correct.
Are you on the Big Island?
No, far from the volcano. I am on Oahu.
Oahu, okay. I actually got to visit there when I was a kid, and someday I'm going to go back. It was amazing.
Well, there's people here for you when
Yeah.
you get back here, man.
Excellent. So before we get into the obligatory question about mugs, because we're all mug lifers here, I
Of course.
have to bring up one of the coolest things about you, is when you got married to your beautiful wife, you guys made mugs from Deneen pottery. Where did that idea come from? How did you make that happen?
It was, well, for one, it took my wife or fiance at the time months to get my attention on helping her planning. It went from a handful of themes to a bunch of random stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. And then finally she pitched Star Wars, and I was all bells and whistles at that point.
Yeah.
And at about halfway down the planning stage, I was like, wouldn't it be badass if we made our own freaking mugs for our own freaking wedding? And she's like, that's gotta be ridiculously expensive. I was like, we won't know till we find out. So
Right.
I started doing some research. I started emailing back and forth with Niles and his associates, and started working on a design that we use for 90% of our wedding. And
There it is.
there it is.
So gorgeous. That's so cool. I mean, what a cool little keepsake. You know, everybody does something fun and sometimes kitschy for their wedding, and that's
Yeah, I don't dance.
oh yeah. Well, I gotta say, you know, I saw the video that you guys put out after you guys got married, and the whole Star Wars theme. It was awesome. So back on the mugs, then. You know, you find Deathwish Coffee Company, obviously becoming a mug lifer. What was the first mug that you got from the company?
It is not the OG, but it is the camper.
Yeah.
It is the camper. I was like, yeah, I'm drinking this Death Wish. I'm drinking out of these weird ass random mugs I'm finding at Ross or something. And I'm like, why don't I just buy a Death Wish mug and, you know, make it 100%, you know?
Yeah.
Maximum effort.
Maximum effort, exactly. That's awesome. So, since then, I know you've been collecting and stuff. Do you have a favorite mug? And I always say this isn't a trick question. It can be a mug that's not a Death Wish mug.
Well, non-Death Wish mug is,
Of
of course, it's going to be this one.
so I had to
I've
throw
got
that
so
one out
much
there, yeah.
pride in this one.
Oh, definitely.
But
definitely.
Death Wish wise, I still haven't gotten all the grails and unicorns. I just don't have the pocket to go hunting like crazy.
I hear you.
But it is this one.
Yeah.
This mug meant a lot to me, and big shout out to Gail. Thank you for sending it all the way here.
That's awesome.
This mug means a lot to me.
That's awesome. And I love the bigger ones too. How much coffee do you drink a day? You say, you know, it obviously fuels you going and making sure you get to work on time. How much coffee do you consume a day?
When I first started, I was doing it by the Chemex.
Uh-huh.
So, one Chemex in the morning and maybe one in the evening, and that would, you know, usually set me good.
Yeah.
But I've primarily started brewing with AeroPress.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of it. It's an amazing little cheap device.
It
makes
so
an
is.
awesome cup of coffee.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people say it's not strong enough. It's not, you know, it's not enough coffee because you can only fit so much in a little device.
Right.
But for anybody wondering, I do 36 grams of coffee to 12 ounces of water.
Okay. That's really good to know.
That's pretty much a pot of Chemex.
Yeah.
In
for
one
sure.
cup.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, I enjoy a good Chemex. You know, I mean, you obviously get the best cup of coffee in there, but I love the AeroPress. Like, if I want a cup of coffee right the hell now, it's like I get it
exactly.
in the
And
AeroPress.
it goes everywhere when we travel.
Yeah.
When we went to Japan, I had a pound of Death Wish in one hand and I had an AeroPress in the other. Every morning we started off our 15-mile trek through wherever the hell we wanted to go with Death Wish.
That's so cool. So, okay, then. So, as a fan of the company, then, and you've been a fan for many years now, you've seen what we've done, you've seen what we've been able to produce. I love asking the community this question. Is there something that we haven't done that you'd like to see? This can be a mug idea. This can be an event, a market we should get into. Is there something that you think Deathwish should be pursuing that we haven't tried yet?
I do enjoy light roast coffee. So I know a few other members have said that.
Yep.
But yes, a light roast coffee. I mean, you guys have nailed the ratio of Robusta to Arabica. and you guys have nailed it. And its success story is filled in everybody's mug.
Right.
So seeing a lighter roast, something I can't remember Valhalla Java's roast or Veridal,
Right.
but I do think Sumatra is in there.
I think so too. Yeah. It's in the vein of it, it would be considered, I guess, like a medium roast. It's not really like it's not
It's
a
not
full,
as dark.
Yeah, it's not like a full light roast. And I'll tell you, like you said, a lot of people have been talking about a light roast. It's something that's constantly on the table for us. Mike, the owner of Death Wish, he has this vision of a singular product, and that is the Death Wish coffee. And we really, push ourselves behind that. But we always do bring up what if we were to pursue the idea of a light roast. And I really believe that we will someday. It might not even be maybe a all year round product. Maybe we'll do it like our barrel releases or like our pumpkin release, something as like a special kind of thing, but I really do believe that we will try it someday, because there is a lot of people like yourself out there who would enjoy it.
You guys have the best dark coffee on the market. It'd be amazing to see you guys smash the light roast competition.
Yeah. I mean, it's very enticing, and I really hope that we do pursue it down the road at some point. That'd be a lot of fun.
And I think last week you guys also mentioned like a coffee con or Death Wish coffee con.
Yeah,
that would be pretty cool.
Yep.
It'd give an opportunity for anybody outside of your guys' immediate area to just fly down, hang out with a crew.
Yep.
I mean, visiting HQ is on our bucket list, me and my wife's bucket list. Just
Excellent.
go there, chill, hang out with you guys.
Yeah, we'd love to
check
have
out
you.
the place.
Yeah, and speaking on the con, we do a lot of events now as the company, and we just see how they work and the inner workings of it, and we've made so many cool connections that I know in the next handful of years it will be a reality. Death Wish Palooza, or however you want to say it, is gonna happen. And that's what's exciting about this company, and what's exciting about talking with fans like you of this company, because without you guys, we'd be nothing for sure.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Sean, for talking with us today.
No problem. Thank you for the opportunity, man.
The Fueled by Death guest.
All right, guys. This week, we had the honor and the privilege of talking to an amazing comic creator, Richard Clark. This guy is incredible because, and I called him this, he's a Swiss Army knife of comic creation. He didn't pigeonhole himself into only drawing superheroes or only working for a specific company or only writing a specific type of story. He can do it all, and he has, and he's still doing it all. And we had a great conversation with him about his career, about his new project that he's working on called Star, that he's writing and drawing and created the entire character and premise himself, and some of the incredible stuff he's gotten to do in his career with his art and his writing and the people he's gotten to work with. It was a joy talking to him, and we got him in studio, as you can see right here. He sat with us right at the desk, and man, I love being able to talk to people in person about their craft and hear their process,
And then eat too much sushi with them afterwards.
That is true. Way too much sushi. But I want to give you guys a little sneak peek of tomorrow's episode with Richard Clark right now. I want to talk about like is that ingrained in your psyche? Is it like I want to say yes to these things, or do you actively go looking for these things, or do they kind of come across your desk? And I'm talking about some of just the amazing art that you've been able to put out there that, for HBO, for
Wall Street Journal.
Yes, yeah, for Wall Street Journal, for that kind of stuff.
What did you do for HBO? Two things. I painted a Dennis Miller image that turned into an animated. They animated the actual character that I painted, and
Cool.
with his voice, and it became a promotional commercial for one of his stand-up specials. And then back in 2001, I might even have that in here somewhere, I painted a caricature of one of my biggest heroes of all time, George Carlin.
Yeah. So that was really cool. And as I've said earlier in the show, I just want to say it again. This show is going on hiatus for 2 weeks because we will be in LA for 8 days starting next week. And we won't be able to put out the live show, but we are putting out the podcast. And I wanted to take the opportunity, even though we're not putting out this show, to give you guys a sneak peek of both of those episodes coming out. So this week, we're really excited about Richard Clark being on the show. Can't wait for you guys to hear that tomorrow. But then Thursday, August 16th, I believe is the day, we've got Astronaut Nicole Stott back on the show. We're so excited. She came up to this area. We had her in the studio to talk about what she's been up to over the last year and some of the incredible stuff that she's doing with her Space for Art Foundation and all this other stuff. And it was just awesome to talk to her in person. And I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek of that episode, next week's podcast, right here.
Really, because Serena and her husband are coffee connoisseurs.
Yeah.
And before I even met you guys and we even started talking about coffee, when I knew she was assigned and was going to fly, I knew I would want to send something to her in a care package. And so it all just kind of worked out, I think. You know, we worked out how to get the coffee to the food lab, and I had to kind of step back from that.
Yeah.
And you guys just did your thing. And then I think the question came up, well, can we say our coffees in space? I'm like, okay, you don't want me helping you with that because it'll just bog things down and complicate it. And the best thing you could do is work directly through, you know, the folks at the Food Lab, get in touch with the...
Which was awesome, by
You
the
know,
way.
they are great. They are so good. And then I'm pretty sure they put you in touch with the legal or PR people or whomever. And, you know, the fact that you guys walked away with, you know, like a blessed official press release kind of piece of paper and all of that, I think it's so cool because it's the kind of, I don't know, to me, it's the kind of precedent we need to start setting with the way we communicate about space.
Yeah.
You know, what I loved about you two when we talked before was that it's not like you had the day before we got on, you know, online together that you were like scrambling to figure out, okay, what's a space station?
Right.
Yeah,
What does NASA stand for? You know, there was none of that. You guys genuinely were excited about it, knew probably know more than I do about it.
No,
And no, I'm
definitely
pretty sure.
not.
And then, you know, and the fact that outside of, you know, NASA and what is going on for real in space, there's a real love of the sci-fi and the creativity and excitement that space exploration can generate. And, you know, and if we can drink some coffee and share coffee in space to get that kind of word out too, I think it's a good thing.
So cool, right, D-Man?
The coolest, man. How many people can say that they've had even an astronaut in their building, let alone like friends with them, hanging out with them, interviewing them, having their whole family here.
It was amazing meeting her mom and her sisters and her aunt, and so much fun. And we're gonna do some more stuff with Nicole in the future for sure.
I gotta say, her aunt came up to me after the interview and shook my hand. She said, "You're very intelligent, and I would be happy to call you my second son."
Oh,
and I was like,
love you guys. Love you guys. So that'll be next week's podcast. The week following, on August 23rd, our podcast is going to have another very special guest, actor and actual blue man, Jordan Woods Robinson.
Actually blue.
He's actually blue. No, I mean, how cool was it to talk to him about his career? He was on The Walking Dead for a couple seasons. He's been in some incredible movies. He's a musician and runs a studio, and he's a freaking blue man.
I thought it was pretty incredible the way he looks at his person as a business.
Yes.
Like, hey, I am a business, and I have all these different branches that I work on, and marketing's one of the things. It was pretty interesting to hear him talk about like he's a CEO running his own business.
Yeah.
And, man, it's some great pieces of advice there, some serious knowledge running through that guy.
It really is. It's a great episode. And again, because we're off for a couple weeks, I wanted to give you a sneak peek of the podcast coming out in 2 weeks with Jordan Woods Robinson right here. Speaking, I guess, on The Walking Dead then, you as an actor have been very lucky playing roles on television and on the big screen. but something like The Walking Dead is a thing all of its own. When you were cast as Eric, did you know about it? Were you a fan of the series? Did you know what you were getting into when you went to audition?
I knew that it was the most popular show on cable. I knew all that. I knew that it's massively popular and that people love it, and the people that do watch it are very loyal to it. I knew all of that. I knew, but I hadn't really watched it. The one time that I had sat first, I'm a terrible like actor. Like I'm bad at doing like the self-promotion stuff while I'm on set, and I also don't watch much TV, so I really hadn't watched the show before this. I'd gotten maybe 4 or 5 episodes in, but at the time we had a newborn. My daughter was fresh, and it felt weird sometimes, like putting it on and her being just within earshot of it,
Right.
So I said, I put a little pin in it. I said, I'm going to come back to this because I did like it.
Mm-hmm.
It just wasn't matching up with my lifestyle at the time.
Right.
But when I got cast, I mean, I knew what that meant, and I knew that was a pretty cool thing. And it was kind of an experience that I went through on like a local level of just trying to put my life in order to be able to even accept the role that I'd been offered. There was a big roller coaster that happened for about 24 hours.
Happy birthday! Surprise! I'm naked.
All right, it's birthday time. And again, because we're off for the next couple weeks on the show, I didn't want to miss some fun birthdays out there. So we got a little bit of a longer birthday list spanning the next couple weeks. First up, though, tomorrow on Thursday, August 9th, Mr. Sam Elliott is celebrating a birthday, 74 years old. One of my favorite roles. He's just billed as the stranger in Big Lebowski there. He's
So
basically
good.
the narrator. But it's funny because a lot of people think of Sam Elliott as this character.
Yeah.
Like the grizzled cowboy who just rolls in to tell you a story and drink a whiskey with you and roll away, And I'd love to do that someday with Sam. That'd be amazing. He's a great actor. He's been in everything. Probably his most famous role, though, is as Wayne from Roadhouse.
Oh man, it's been so long.
Yeah, yup. There he is in Roadhouse.
He's still old. He just was always.
He's always old.
Came out of his mother old.
Yeah, he's one of those guys.
It's so crazy.
One of those guys. So happy birthday to him on Thursday. On Saturday, August 11, somebody near and dear to your heart that you listen to probably every single week, at least a couple times a week.
Every single day.
Every single day. Mr. Joe Rogan is turning 51 years old, and he looks great because he is all about that lifestyle now. Just being healthy, being active.
Testosterone replacement, human growth hormones. Yeah, a lot of things make you look young for a while.
Speaking of, when I first heard about Joe Rogan, wasn't from a podcast, wasn't from anything else. One of my favorite TV shows from the 90s. News Radio. And there he is opposite the late, great Phil Hartman.
There's this great episode where him and Andy Dick have a wrestling match.
Oh, I remember that episode.
And then Andy Dick finds out that he's ticklish.
Yeah.
And just tickles him and wins.
Oh, my God. Joe Rogan's a stand-up comedian, and he was also, an actor for a while. This was probably his biggest role. It was a great show. It was one of those gems of the sitcoms, of the sitcom boom of the 90s there. And he played the man's man on that show. He played what was he, like the handyman of the news radio?
Yeah,
right? 'Cause
yeah.
he wasn't an on-air personality.
No.
He was like the Mr. Fix-It of the thing. And he always had something gruff to say, and it was really funny.
With a thick Boston accent.
But I mean, look at him here, and now look at him here.
Yeah.
To there. It's like, well, yeah, you're right. He's doing something. He's taking something, right?
Yeah, he's definitely taking a lot of things. And I don't blame him, man. Technology is so good nowadays, you don't really have to get old anymore.
It is true.
Oh, yeah, and stem cells. Don't forget about stem cells.
Don't forget about
Lots of those. By the way, he has had other acting roles. What was that Kevin James movie about animals, the zookeeper or something?
Paul Blart, Zookeeper?
Yeah, I know. It was something like that, right? And Joe Rogan actually plays the bad guy.
Oh.
And then Kevin James also had a movie called Here Comes the Boom.
Oh, it was like a UFC movie, right?
Right.
And Rogan was in that as himself, right?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, him and Kevin James are good buddies, so that's pretty much the only thing he'll act for nowadays. He thinks
he doesn't need to. He's
Yeah.
podcasting all the time. He's doing all sorts of cool stuff. He's doing a lot for UFC.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Happy birthday to him. On Wednesday, August 16th, the iconic Madonna is turning 60 years old, and she doesn't look a day over 40. That girl. Well, you could say I think she still looks beautiful. You can feel the way you want to feel. You've never liked Madonna, have you? You're not just not even a fan, not even a nothing.
Yeah, no, nothing. I don't know. It's always like a publicity stunt. I always see her as just like in my day.
Yeah.
Growing up as a kid, she just seemed to like this person just starved for attention and just was always doing things. Yeah, was always doing things to piss people off just to get attention.
Well, she's still doing things. In fact, she just announced a new tour. She's still going to be going out there and playing all the hits, I'm sure, and playing new material.
Oh, and her music sucks. Sorry. Oh.
That's all right. That's all right.
Come on, name one good song.
She's Like a Virgin.
That's the only Madonna song that you can think of on the spot.
That's not true. Frickin' you got me on the spot. Damn it, he's got me on the spot.
Yes.
Fine. I'm not the biggest Madonna fan either. I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan of her iconography. That's all. She's an icon in her own right.
Iconography. Using big words to get out of this one,
We'll
Jeff.
get out of it. On Friday, August 18th, Mr. Christian Slater is going to be 49 years old.
He doesn't age much either.
He does not. I still have yet to see, what is he, Mr. Robot? That's the thing. I still have yet to watch it. You watch it, right?
I watched the first season. I really, really liked it.
Yeah.
And his role is particularly awesome.
He has been an actor forever, though. One of the movies that I always think of that makes
Gleaming
me
the
chuckle.
Cube.
I'll get there, but no, Broken Arrow. You remember Broken Arrow with him and John Travolta as like fighter pilots?
Yeah,
and
it was terrible.
Oh, it's so terrible. He's been in a lot of bad stuff. But yes, this right here, I wanted to be when I was a kid.
Me too.
I wanted to be Christian Slater in the movie Gleaming the Cube. It's a great movie from the 80s where he uses skateboarding to thwart the bad guy, and all the skaters of the day are in it, including Tony Hawk and Eric Costin and all these guys. It was so cool. It was like, and I wanted, like, look at that. I wanted to be that. I never could be that.
You know
cool.
who is that?
Who?
Thomas.
Yeah, you're right. Our own Thomas Dragonetti is totally Christian Slater. On Tuesday, August 22nd, one of my favorite funny ladies out there, Kristen Wiig, is turning 45 years old. Obviously known for her time on Saturday Night Live, in the movie Bridesmaids, a bunch of other movies out there. She's also the voice of characters in the Despicable Me movies. Very, 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 very funny. And it was just announced, on the other side of funny, she is going to be playing Cheetah in the new Wonder Woman movie. And I don't know if they're going to go this route with it. This is actually Cheetah from the Wonder Woman Superman comics. She's a bad guy. I don't know if they're going to put Kristen Wiig in a leopard print leotard, but I'm in. We'll see. The new Wonder Woman.
How does that? That doesn't. Is that a funny character in the comic books?
No, she's a villain. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
I can't look at her without thinking there's a comedy part coming.
Yeah, right? Especially because it's Kristen Wiig playing her.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
So maybe they will go a comedy route. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I just thought that was
Marvel.
interesting. Yeah,
Dude.
That's DC, not Marvel.
Jesus, even more DC.
On Friday, August 25th, a very happy 60th birthday to Tim Burton. Gosh. The amount of movies that this guy has done that are some of my favorite movies out there, it's incredible, you know?
That's crazy.
One of my all-time go-tos is Edward Scissorhands, for like hands down.
First movie I cried to.
Really?
Yeah.
It is depressing.
Yeah, like at the end where the dude gives him his hands and dies at the same time.
Yeah.
Waterworks. I didn't even know. I was so young. I didn't even know why I was crying. Just couldn't keep it together.
It's a good filmmaker right there. But
yeah.
I mean, so many cool things. Nightmare Before Christmas. Pretty much anything with Helen Bonham Carter or Johnny Depp in it has been a Tim Burton movie at some point, right? Like, incredible stuff. One of my favorite things he did was actually the first thing he ever did was for Disney called Frankenweenie, which was about a kid whose dog gets hit by a car and then he reanimates him. It's a black and white, and Daniel Stern's in it, and it's
a dark premise.
Yeah, so dark, but for Disney, right? It was so funny. So happy birthday to him. On Saturday, August 26th, another funny lady turning 48 years old. Happy birthday to Melissa McCarthy. Again, so many funny movies out there, so many funny different things that she's done. But probably my favorite thing she's done in the last year is her stint on SNL as Sean Spicer.
Oh, so good.
So good. When she was on the podium that was actually like remote controlled and was going down 34th Street. Like incredible that SNL can get away with doing that kind of stuff. So much fun to watch her on the screen. On Monday, August 28th, happy birthday to one half of Tenacious D, Mr. Jack Black, turning 49 years old. This guy has reinvented his career from, bit parts in movies to starring in some flops, to now, again, doing bit parts in some of the biggest movies out there, like the new Jumanji. I wasn't a big fan of it, but it made a ton of movies.
Also making his own movies.
And making his own movies. Speaking of which, like I brought up, one of my favorite bands out there, Tenacious D, started out as just a fun project he did for HBO.
The Pick of Destiny was awesome.
Did that movie, The Pick of Destiny. So much fun. It has just been announced by them that they have written, shot, and made a second Tenacious D movie. They're like, we don't know what we're going to do with it. Maybe we'll shop it to Netflix. Maybe we'll shop it to a studio. Who knows? But it's there. So we're going to get another
I don't think
Tenacious
it should
D
be a
movie.
Netflix release. Netflix has cheapened themselves.
Yeah, I would love to see it in theaters because Pick of Destiny was in theaters.
Ah.
Yeah, I'd love to see it in theaters, but I can't wait. We're gonna get another Tenacious D
Oh,
movie.
that's such good news. That
So
brightened
cool.
up my day.
And finally, our final birthday in the next 2 weeks, Tuesday, August 29th, astronaut Chris Hadfield is turning 59 years old. Chris is incredible. He was the commander of this International Space Station for a while there. He is another colleague of Nicole Stott and was actually a part of One Strange Rock alongside Nicole Stott, the National Geographic series, which you can catch on Fox now. And Chris actually made a lot of news headlines when he was on the International Space Station because he sang the very famous Bowie song and played the guitar and shot the whole thing on the space station, and his son helped him edit it on the ground.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then they released it as a music video, and you can see it on YouTube. It's really fun. He's floating through the space station playing guitar and singing. Really, really cool. So happy birthday to all of them. Let's get roasting something.
I smell a roast.
All right. So every week, we try to come up with something that's going to piss us off, and I really hope, guys, that I piss D-Man off real bad this time, because this, I went down a rabbit hole of this. I found this and just started to boggle my mind, and I started to get mad. Why, when you go out to eat, is food served to you in the worst, most wrong way possible?
By the way, the first thing I think of, chili in a mug.
How is that? Okay. If I were to put soup or chili in this and eat it out of this.
Soup's not good either.
Why? It's a bowl with a handle.
It's called a mug. If it were in a bowl, that would be acceptable.
All right. But what I do at home.
I'm already pissed off, Jeff.
But what I do at home is what I do at home. When you go out and pay good money to get food or drink, you expect the drink to come in a glass or a mug, and you expect the food to come on, what are those things called? Oh yeah, a plate. Why is this happening? And this is how I kicked this whole thing off. I heard about this. This was a couple years ago in Melbourne, Australia. There was a cafe serving this, which they called Deconstructed Coffee. This was $4.80 for a cup of gourmet coffee, which is, a high price for your normal cup of coffee that you're getting. But they serve it to you as coffee, hot water, and milk that you mix yourself and make a cup of coffee. Why am I paying a barista to serve this to me when their job as a barista is to make me a cup of coffee?
It's like going to McDonald's and getting a cheeseburger with the bun and the cheese and the burger all separated.
Here you go.
There's no reason for doing that.
Again, if I'm at home, I'll make my own damn cup of coffee. But why are they doing it like this? And then I started to go down this rabbit hole, and I found this amazing Twitter account. It's so great, guys. You should all go follow it right now. It's called We Want Plates. And it's just an account devoted to the dumbest way food is served to you. And so speaking on the whole coffee thing, here's one where they serve coffee to you in a measuring cup. And I love the caption. It says, coffee could become really popular if someone just invent some sort of vessel for drinking it out of it, like because God forbid you have to use a measuring cup. Why are you using a measuring cup? Why? Why do restaurants think that they have to up their game with food presentation? You know what you need to up your game with? The fucking food you're making.
Yeah.
Up your game that way. So then people start talking about, oh, I want to go to this restaurant because the food and drink was delicious, not because it was served to me in some foo-foo piece of shit.
You know what? This makes me think that there was some stoned college kid with too many dirty dishes and decided to make coffee out of his measuring cup and was like, whoa, man, this would be a great idea in the restaurant I want to start.
How about this? You go to your local grocery, or whatever, your cafe, and you're like, I would like a cup of coffee. And they serve you this. What do I do with the mini shopping cart? What do I do with this? Why do I need this? Do I pick up the whole thing and try to drink it and get it all over myself? No. I'm going to take the cup out of the coffee cart, I'm going to take the coffee out of the cart, and I'm going to just discard the cart. Why? There's
no point.
No freaking point.
There's literally no logical thinking behind this whatsoever.
Boggles my mind. And some poor dishwasher in the back of this store has to run through frickin' trays of these stupid carts.
They're not washing them, and everybody's getting staph infections.
Ugh, God. So, as you've been seeing, some of this stuff is served also on, instead of a plate, you've probably seen this out. You've either gotten shit served to you like this, or you've seen people get shit served to you like this. The idea where you get your food or your drink served on a plank, like a plank of wood or a slate stone slab or something like that. Have you been to a place that this has happened?
Not unless I got like the cheese,
like
cheese
a charcuterie board or something.
Yeah. Charcuterie.
That's what I
You're
used to
such
be
a chef.
Jeff. Yeah, like, come
Chef Jeff strikes again. Charcuterie.
but yeah, okay. So they usually serve those on a cutting board.
I bet nobody else in this building knows the fucking word charcuterie.
Probably not. But regardless of that. You've never been to a place where you've gotten like a burger served on a wooden plank?
No, never happens.
It's happened to me, and it's just like,
I'll tell you what happens though. The juice runs off and goes onto your lap or the table.
The reason why a plate is to keep your food on the damn plate. So that's what freaking makes me absolutely
Unless
insane.
you're eating charcuteries.
So here's a trend. Here's a trend that's been happening. Food being served on slabs of stone, either slate or stone or whatever, right? Uh-huh. But then chefs doing this. It's called ghost utensils.
No.
Why? Why am I getting a wooden plank with a muffin and a ghost fork in powdered sugar? What is that? I'm not writing a good Yelp review about this. This isn't going to get me to go back to your fucking restaurant, right?
No,
what the hell? What the absolute hell? Are you supposed to eat it with your hands? Is it supposed to be like, man, I wish I had a real fork instead of this ghost fork?
What do you think the name of that restaurant joint is?
Closed.
Good one, Jeff. Oh, man, that was good.
Fucking A. Here.
Jeff with the jokes.
So here you go. So we're getting mad about food being delivered to you on a wooden plank or on a slab of stone. Check this shit out. What's wrong with this? Here is your slate slab that we're putting your food on, but we're going to serve it to you, that slate slab, on a fucking plate. What the hell? Why are you using stone and then putting it onto a plate? Why? Why, people? Why? I love this this is my new favorite Twitter account, We Want Plates. Shout out to We Want Plates. I love you guys. I went down a rabbit hole. These are just some of the gems I found. Guys, their feed is amazing, and they post a couple times a day.
Why would you ever do this, Jeff?
I don't know. I just don't freaking know. Look at this. Look at this slab.
It's like John Swedish is running these restaurants.
Look at this slab of shit. What am I doing with this? How do you eat this without poking your eye out? What is wrong with people?
Hopefully you do eat it like this.
Like, seriously, what is wrong? If I got served that, I'd be like, take it back. Take this back. I don't want it. I don't even know what it is.
And so the flies can get to all the fucking surface area of every bite.
Dumbest shit in the world. How about this? Look at this. Have you seen this shit? Not just the food, but cocktails and fucking plant pots. And like a planter's box with your fish and
they
chips.
serve it out of a watering thing.
Give me a break. Give me a break. Like I said, it doesn't presentation. Sure, if you guys have watched, Chopped or Gordon Ramsay shows or everything like that, yes, when you're a chef, presentation is part of the food that you're cooking.
Yeah, but this is bad presentation.
Don't go above and beyond. Make the plate look fine. That's as far as you should go. Make the food good. This is just masking terrible food. That's all it's doing. It's just fucking terrible. You want to talk about shit that needs to stay in the garden? Look at this. Look at this. Here's another freaking box of shit, and I'll run this down for you. This is a market box with your food in it, and they got fish and chips. There's an eyedropper of vinegar that you're supposed to use for your fish and chips, which is stupid. That seaweed shit you see is fake, so they're putting a fake garnish, plastic seaweed.
I thought it was like Christmas lights.
Christmas lights. And then what you can't see in the background is actually another fucking shopping cart full of fries. So this whole thing is just a clusterfuck of no. I just don't want it. Hashtag clusterfuck of no. I just don't want any of that. It's so ridiculous. But the worst thing that you didn't notice, and you didn't notice, is all of this garbage is on a mini table, which is delivered to you on top of your table. Do you see that shit?
Yeah, I saw that.
You see that shit? What is wrong with
I like
people?
how you were hoping that I was going to get angry, but you're so angry, I don't even have room to be angry.
Oh, my God. I'm so freaking angry. How about this? You want food in a shovel?
Take your teeth out with that.
Yeah, you want food on a shovel? Because we got food on a shovel. Why would I want food on a fucking shovel?
For this.
Ugh. So freaking dumb, everybody. I think I got more. Yep, there's another one. Shovel of food. Oh, yeah, and a little pail of beans. Ew. Because thanks for that. Thanks. Thank you so much. And we got all the hot grease getting in the shovel and running down your pants, and just thanks. Thanks so much for this. How about this wealth of garden tools just serving your food in garden shit? Seriously, guys, if you're not as mad as I am, there's something wrong with you. I don't understand. I don't
think anybody could possibly be as mad as you are, Chef Jeff.
I don't understand. We want plates. I love you. We want plates. I love it. I love this. How about this? Finally, this is my last one. Slippers.
No.
Why are you serving me my food in slippers?
So it tastes good when your dog eats it?
Yeah. Like, just stop. Just
that was
stop.
my joke, sorry.
Seriously, go on over. Go follow We Want Plates on Twitter. Go down their feed. It's amazing. And they came out with a book. Not only was I going down their feed, look at this. I want to get this book. Great coffee table book of just all this shit. Like, and the funniest thing, so they come out with the book, right? And one of their fans shows a picture of them eating a salad off of their book. I was like, how meta is that? So great. So wonderful. That kind of stuff makes me happy, at least with the internet. But I just serve my coffee in a mug, serve my food on a plate. Please don't give me gardening tools or slippers with my food. It's just dumb. It's just dumb.
D-Man's Death Wish Update. Brought to you by Death Wish Coffee.
Coming soon from Death Wish Coffee, Death Wish plates. No.
They're actually books.
That are made to look like skateboards. It's terrible. Yeah, I'm still mad. I'm still mad. But this will make me feel better. What do we got coming out tomorrow? You know, I know, you guys know, maybe.
Master of Vitality
there
t-shirts.
We've shown it to you on this show. I'll throw up another picture for you. We're really excited about this shirt. We love this shirt. I'm excited because we released them. I wasn't even working for the company, and I think they released like 4 of them. So some of you out there got them, but not like barely any of us at work have one of these shirts. So we're really all excited to even get this shirt, and you guys should be too. Comes out tomorrow with the newsletter. Get on it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Coming up too, like we talked about last week, the Diner Mug set.
Right around the corner.
Can't say enough good things about the Diner Mug set, guys. We showed you the memes last week. I'll put them up again. The hot coffee meme and the skulls of my enemies meme.
Let's see if I can remember. If you can't drink hot coffee on a hot day, then you are weak and will never survive the apocalypse.
Good job. Do you remember the
It's,
skulls of my enemies one?
The skulls of my enemies dishwasher safe?
Perfect. Those are the two memes. We've been loving putting these mugs out with our memes because not only do we know you guys like them and we get to sell them as a set and you get some new everyday use mugs out there, but it's fun seeing them crop up in pictures, especially people like at their jobs, you know, like,
yeah.
like and all that kind of stuff. And I love seeing these diner mugs. And so we're really excited that they're coming out really soon. And finally, the big news, which if you're not following Death Wish Coffee on social media or reading our blogs, you might have missed this. Our new mug, our new Deneen pottery mug is right around the corner. And Dustin did not get in trouble last week for giving all those details.
I haven't gotten in trouble yet. I'm just handing this shit out. You guys don't tell on me, so we're good. We'll keep this up, huh?
So it's all out there for all you to see. I'll put some of those photos and the link to the blog here too.
Dude, I finally saw that because I've seen the red one for a while.
Yeah.
But the black and
the blue.
It's black and purple?
It's blue and purple. It's like a really dark blue.
Well, I'm fucking colorblind, dude, so relax, all right? You don't have to correct me over everything.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. That's what I was getting to. It's great, but you ruined it.
But you did say, you announced last week on the show that in celebration of Labor Day, we're releasing our Grind It Out mug. Because if you guys don't know, we did a whole series called Grind It Out. The tagline is how our coffee lives. And we talked to people like farmers and blacksmiths and hairdressers and boxers and people who like really work hard and coffee fuels them to do it, you know, like, and that's where this idea of Grind It Out kind of came to be, and designed by our incredible Thomas Dragonetti. We're really excited about it. These are a set. So that means two things. One, when these mugs do drop, you'll be able to order them and you'll get, you know, the set. So it'll be a little bit more of a price point than just a normal single mug. That being said, though, it also makes the numbers go way down because there's only 2,000 sets, a little bit more than that. About that, yeah. When we would do like a run of 5,000 mugs, we're only doing a run of 2,000 sets, a little bit more. So when this drops, you're gonna want to get on it immediately. And if you haven't been a part of our mug drop yet of this company, here's some tips to kind of get you guys ready for it. First of all, with every mug release, we do something called a golden ticket. And I'm very excited to see this golden ticket because I don't even know what color it's going to be, but it's a different color than the normal color that you're going to see on these mugs. And on one day, and one day only, every single order that is made on deathwishcoffee.com will have a chance to get this golden ticket. So if you just go to deathwishcoffee.com, order a pound of coffee or a New Era hat or something like that, that package could show up with the golden ticket mug inside.
I love it when people post it, too.
Yeah.
They, like, know they got it because the box is bigger than it should be.
Right. Especially if you're only ordering, like, something really small, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's
like a pound of coffee, yet it comes in a giant box. That's awesome.
And especially you're going to know this time because you're going to get a set of golden ticket mugs.
Yes.
And there's a very limited release. In fact, we only usually do, I don't know the exact number, we only usually do about 20 of these.
We'll be doing about half the amount because it's a set.
So it'll be 10. 10 golden tickets.
Somewhere around there.
That's
Don't quote me. It might be like 10 or 15 maybe.
So that'll be coming up in the next couple weeks. And when that hits, the cool thing about Golden Ticket Day is any order that's placed that day will get a free patch with the Grind It Out emblem.
Have you seen it yet?
I have.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's gorgeous. So if you look at those pictures of the unglazed mugs that we released, that medallion, that's what the patch is going to look like.
Well, you can post a picture of it right here.
Yeah. And it's awesome. So every single order that day will get that free patch. And our subscribers as well, in your next subscription when it comes to your door, will get that free patch as well, which is really cool. Now, here's the deal. And a lot of you guys out there who have been following the mug releases know this, but if this is your first time, when that golden ticket hits, that means that the real mugs, the actual mug release, is just a few weeks away. That's it. So you know that you're ready for that. And you're already doing one thing to make sure that you're up to date. You're watching the show. This show with the update, that will 100% keep you informed. The other thing you got to do, subscribe to our newsletter. That newsletter will come in your email, and it will tell you exactly what's coming up, give you links to our blogs, give you links to our new products. And finally, we have a text list. You can text mugs to 484848, and on mug release days, on Deneen Pottery mug release days, the minute that it hits the website available for purchase, you're going to get a text in your text message that's going to say something to the effect of, mug is released, go get it now, and there'll be a link right to the mug, and you'll be able to buy it right from your smartphone.
Perfect.
How easy is that?
Perfect.
So cool. So we're really excited. We're ramping up for mugs. Like I've been telling you guys, I know you've seen the Space Oddity mug. That is not obviously this next mug release. That will be released before the end of the year, but we have some really cool mugs in the works between now and the end of 2018. And I honestly, there's some out there that we haven't even talked about yet that I'm very excited to talk about. Do you want to try and see if you can get in trouble?
Man, we got an awesome one coming for Halloween.
There it is. And you know what?
It's Poe-related. Oh!
I'm glad that you said something about it because I did see a couple of questions recently because we've been talking about the Spaceman mug so much. And we've also now just released that we're going to be doing the Grind It Out for Labor Day. And some people were wondering, like, I haven't heard anything about Halloween. Is Death Wish going to do anything about Halloween? Come on. We are Death Wish Coffee Company. We're not going to forget about Halloween.
It's extra cool.
It's extra cool. You guys are not going to want to miss that. Same deal. We're going to do a golden ticket release with that. We're going to do a patch with that. We're going to do that mug.
Oh, man, I want the patch for that one.
Oh,
the
me
medallion's
too.
too cool. Fucking Thomas is a rock star.
And as it gets closer to that mug release, we'll obviously tell you more details and even show you pictures of it. But keep watching the show. Keep subscribing to that newsletter. And I think that's it for this week.
Yeah, we just gave away a really big secret.
Yeah, we did.
We probably shouldn't even have mentioned the Halloween mug. In fact, we probably shouldn't say Halloween mug anymore.
Halloween mug,
because people are gonna know that we're releasing a Halloween mug.
Hashtag Halloween mug
around Halloween.
Yay! Okay, that's it. Tune in to next show for more on the update. That's the show this week, guys. And like I've been saying all show long, this is the final show for the next 2 weeks. The next 2 weeks, this iteration, the Fueled by Death show, the one that you're either watching live here on Facebook or on YouTube, we're going to take a break because for 8 solid days...
We're not taking a break, by the way.
That's the thing. For 8 solid days, Dustin and I are going to be based in L.A., in Los Angeles, the city of angels, and we're going to be recording a ton of new guests for the podcast. So... that being said, we just don't have the time to really come up with, this show for the next 2 weeks. But that being said, the podcast will still come out every single Thursday in the next 2 weeks as well, including tomorrow's episode with Richard Clark, which we're really excited for you guys to see. And I want you guys to follow Death Wish Coffee on Facebook as well. If you're not, obviously if you're watching us live, you are. But if you're not, follow us on Facebook because even though we're not doing the live show, Dustin coined a great term. What was it again?
Q&A in L.A.?
Q&A in L.A. And if we get some free time, which I'm sure we're going to have some downtime out there, I really would love to do that. Do a live where Dustin and I are out in L.A. We can answer questions from you guys, and we can tell you some of the stuff we're getting into out there, and maybe break some secrets out there. I don't know. But we're hopefully going to do that. I don't think it'll be normal time, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But if you're following the Facebook page, we'll hopefully alert you when we do go live. And we might do it a couple times because we're going to some cool places, and it'd be cool to do some lives or maybe some fun things while we're out there, as well as recording these awesome guests.
Yep.
So we can't thank you guys enough for watching, tuning into the show. One more time, remember, next 2 weeks we'll be off, but watch and enjoy the podcast. And take these next 2 weeks to catch up on old podcast episodes maybe that you haven't seen or
That's
haven't
a good
listened
idea,
to.
Jeff. I think I'm going to do just that.
Yeah. So hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the night and rest of the week. We will be off to L.A. in just a few short days, and we'll tell you all about it when we get back. Thanks again, guys. Bye.
Cheers.